Hello guys, KASSIS talking to you from my studio, and I want to thank you so much for watching my masterclass today. I have recorded it in Club Pavé, and now I'm sharing it with you all. And since I've taken so much time for me to learn all of these machines and to get myself into this level, and I remember that I have taken so much time out of my personal life just so I can learn them, and I couldn't find any tutorials online for me to help me get to the level that I want to be. I've decided to make this whole masterclass for free on YouTube. I want to support the scene, and I want to showcase everyone that it's possible, and I want just there to be tutorials online. So yes, enjoy the masterclass. Hope you like it. If you want to support me, there's a Bandcamp link where you can donate to have the video of the masterclass, any price that you want. And I want to share that I also give out private lessons, mixing and mastering services. The private lessons can be about DJing, about producing, about having a live act, either with Ableton or using machines, or if you want to learn more about mixing and mastering. And if you can contact me on my email, kassisofficial@gmail.com, or send me a DM on any of the social media platforms so we can speak about it. And yeah, hope you enjoy it. KASSIS Masterclass about how to do a hardware industrial live set in Club Pavé. Have fun.
So yeah, basically these are the machines. Everything that is used I've gotten and bought myself, and I've actually set up myself. It consists, my machines are 5 right now. With the mixer they become 6, and I connect all of them together using cables and MIDI. Basically, let's start with the first machine. The first machine is this one, the Akai Force. The Akai Force is the brain of everything that's happening. Basically, it gives out all of the tempo, all of the MIDI information, and it syncs all of these machines together. I press play, everything starts playing. I press stop, everything stops playing. In the preferences, I have here in the MIDI, and in the MIDI I can see I have connected everything, and I've synced, and I've tracked them together, so you can exactly know what's happening using MIDI files. My MIDI is used by USB, so this is the USB, it's here, and it's here, and it's here. All of this is connected through a USB hub that is connected inside the Akai Force. And using this USB hub and with the MIDI cables, I send all of the information. Also, with it, I have all of my samples, and I have all of my session. If you know about Ableton Live, it's like the session view. Basically, you have each one, which are like audio files that I can like edit, and I can put inside, and the files run. I usually give them 8-bar or 16-bar loops that just run around and run around. And using them, I play all of the sounds that I can not play with the machines. Sounds that I've made, I've sampled, and I've processed in Ableton before, and then I put them inside the machine. There's a hard drive inside of it, so inside the hard drive I put everything, and then I play with it. And yeah, basically that's the function of the Akai Force. The brain, the MIDI sync, the tempo. Here, exactly, I choose what's the tempo. If this is the tempo, then it's the right tempo. If it's not, I can change it completely, no worries. This machine here is the most fun machine and the most important. This is the Electron Analog Rhythm MK2. Basically with it, I have my kicks, I have my hats, and I have my perks. This is the drum machine. It's like a drummer in a band. It plays all of the drums, and I can control them, and I can put them on. Let's say, here, let's play only the kick. I press play here. It says everything, and using an audio cable jack to RCA, I have made both of my kicks stereo, and I've put them in number 1 and number 2. These kicks I've made on my own, and I've used the engine inside to sample some punches and some rumbles, and then I've processed them in Ableton to make them complete and have full sound. And then after that, I put them back in the analog rhythm, and I give them 1 is the left, 1 is right. Let's say I stop and I put from the channels here directly out to the mixer, because the analog rhythm you can put individual outputs to each channel, which is perfect. This is the kick. It's only on the left channel. This is the kick also, but it's on the right channel. You know, so like this, you can have it done. Just 1 second. You can see it's coming up on the right channel. Put them together, and I can have both at the same time. Stop, put. stop, put. And this is how I put my kicks. The cool thing about the analog rhythm is that I can put multiple kits. A kit is basically different drums. And I make each sample, each like kit with its own samples, and I put them inside. Basically, let's say we're playing these kicks. And I go to number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Other kicks. I go again. 3, 4. And there I change between the kicks for my live set. And using this, I have made also some modifications, like some playing tools with the kicks using the scene mode. The scene mode inside the Electron rhythm is basically you tell it what functions and what stuff to use at the same time. Let's say I put the kick. And then I can like make it short. I can filter it. I can make it distorted. And at the same time also I can reverse it. So by this I can play with it. And like this you do like some cool stuff while playing live to make it sound different. I also here have what's called a fill. A fill is basically if I press this, it shows me what kind of kicks I've put in. I've put it only on the 4s, like to make it a 4/4 type beat. So you know it's like doof, doof, doof. You know it's on the 4/4. But if I click this, I add extra kicks so I can play around. And like this, I make chops and I make breaks as I go. So more. Stop and go, stop and go. And this way I add more, rhythm, and I add more uncertainties to the kicks, which makes the set much more fluent. And basically this is it for the kick. My first channel here is only the kick and nothing else, so I can get headroom, so I can make it as loud. So when I'm playing in a party or I'm playing on a sound system, the kick sounds as massive as it can be. And let me put it more. And yeah, basically that's it. From the analog rhythm for the kicks. I have also the hats. The hats, I've put them on from these. All of these are hats, basically, that they're running. I've taken them out and I've put them into this. This is the Antelope ZenQ. It's an audio card with its own mixer inside that doesn't need a computer. Basically, it has its own panning, it has its own compressors, it has its own limiters that me on the computer, I make the settings of, and then I can save the settings and then take it out and let it just run by itself. It's connected to the Akai Force, which is giving it power by USB, and I don't need a power plug for it. Only using the Type-C cable, I can make it run. And I'm using here a converter from the Type-C to USB because it's only USB on the Akai Force. And the cool thing about it is that I can also put the Akai Force as an audio card and let the Akai Force samples run from it, not as an output like directly from the Akai Force. So yeah. Here, the main outputs are coming out, are going inside this, and inside it, I put the right gain, I put the right panning, because the analog rhythm actually is a mono player for samples and for hats. It cannot play stereo for sounds, it can only have stereo for effects. So to give the hats much more place to play with the stereo image, I put them through here, I EQ them through here, and then through an output, from this, I put it inside the second mixer. And the second mixer is only hats using this. So now I can play, I can stop hats. These four, for me personally, I use are the synth engines. They're not samples. For example, let's choose this one. When I choose this one using the track, I can choose exactly which channel. I can make it run like this as rolling hats. I put it, and it's exactly just the engine inside the analog rhythm, which plays hats, which is analog, plays this. And I can even control the decay using this quick performance mode, which is basically like a macro that you can put inside and control everything inside of it. And I use the other ones just as extra hats, so I can add them more to the mix more and more. I have also here on these four. For me personally, I like to use a lot of like shrans, a lot of like hard type loops because they give energy to the set. And I've added like loops, which you can see here. If I go like this and I go to the sample, and it's running. And like this more and more. And this is how I control them. I can stop them, put them, stop, put, play them exactly how I want with it. And it's only on this channel, so I can put them with the right gain and the right EQ so they don't interfere with the other stuff. So I have, for example, here the kick, put it on, and like here, I put this fader up, put the hats. And this is how I remove the kick, put it again. Remove the hats, put them again. I have them on different faders, so I can control them and I can put them on and off whenever I want. And basically that's how it works with this for the analog rhythm. I have also here on the quick performance a filter for the kicks. So I can control it and filter it exactly how I want it to be. And I put the hats. Stop these hats. Remove them, put them. I can control it whenever I want. I can put them on, put it on and off, exactly how I want. There is no problem with me playing with them. And this is complete control, actually, because I can make them longer, make the phrases longer, add more hats when I need more energy, remove some hats when I want to lower the energy down, filter the EQ when I want to. I can do a lot of stuff, only using the analog rhythm with these outputs and these two channels. And this is basically the drum machine. That's what it does. It only takes care of the hats, perks, rhythmic elements, and the drums. And basically, this is the analog rhythm. This is what it's used for. And I changed, as I said, between the drum sets for depending on the phrases and on the songs that I want to play. And then we can go to the synthesizers. I use two synthesizers right now for my live setup. I use the Arturia Micro Freak, which is actually not mine. It's for a friend. I have to bring her back. Sova, thank you so much. I'll bring it back, I promise. And I use the Roland bassline. The Micro Freak is an amazing synthesizer because it's a wavetable synthesizer that makes a lot of cool hypnotic analog type sounds. And you can play a lot of stuff with it. I use the Akai Force here to send MIDI files. So for example, this MIDI file, I can go in and I can control. You can see here, it's basically MIDI notes that are being sent to the exact Micro Freak. And with the Micro Freak, I played like these sounds. Let's start, for example. Here, I put the fader up. This fader, the last one, is only for the synthesizers. I put the stereo on. And how I control it. Basically, I send the MIDI files, and I play with the resonance, the cutoff, the filter amount, the attack decay, the ADSR, and I can also even change some of the oscillator like this. And the cool thing about it is that it has its own presets. So I make my own presets at my computer at home, and I just change them with the preset button. And that's the use for my Micro Freak, just to add this analog hypnotic type sound to my set, so it gives this extra spice and extra push that I need when I'm playing everything together. And with all the presets, I change one by one, and I know each preset how it sounds depending on the phrase that I'm in. And yeah.
So yeah, guys, unfortunately my microphone stopped working during the masterclass, but I fixed it immediately and I'm going to continue in a bit. During this time, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're having fun learning something until now. And I want to remind you that there's the Bandcamp link if you want to give me a donation of any amount. And I also give out lessons of any kind. And you can contact me either on my email or sending me a DM. And yeah, basically now I'm continuing. So enjoy the rest of the masterclass.
Okay, we continue. So basically, as I said, the synthesizer does all of the hypnotic elements, and I change the presets. And I only use it between like main elements of my tracks. I don't use it all the time because it's like it takes over a lot of the spectrum and you cannot hear so much of the other stuff happening, which is you have to be very delicate when playing live because so many stuff can be happening at the same time and it can be really overwhelming and you would not know how to control everything together. So you would lose track of time. You would lose also track of work. So you would not be able to know what to EQ exactly, what to play, what to not play, what takes over as the sound, because everything is happening and mixed together on the spot, which can be too much. So you would not know exactly how to do it. So the best thing you can do is to know when to put stuff and when to remove stuff. You cannot be letting stuff play all the time at max volume, because then it's going to be too much and it's not going to be mixed well and it's going to sound really bad to the people. And yeah, I control with it. I have also the bass line, which is the Roland. Both of them are mono synthesizers, which I put inside. And after I put inside the mixer through audio inputs, I EQ them and I make them go to stereo, and then I use another output to take it out to this channel. This one has 3 simultaneous outputs, which is perfect for me because I can use this, this, and this at the same time to mix everything together, and the kick goes directly from the rhythm, so I have the 4 channels used. And yeah, let's talk about the Roland bass line, which is basically just an acid synth, but I use it in a different way. The Roland bass line is basically this. The usual acid sound, you know? It's also controlled here by this MIDI clip. And the Akai Force sends it through USB to it, so you can listen to it directly from there, and it tells it what to play. If I stop, it stops. If I press play, it plays, and I tell it what to play. However, because this is a very simple synthesizer that only plays this type of sound, it has a sine and a sawtooth only, which don't sound so different. I use the convolution delay inside of it to make it atmospheric, and I use it as an atmospheric synthesizer. Because if I continue on just playing the acid sound, the whole set will sound very boring. I might put it once or twice during my set, but nothing more. What I use is that I use a convolution delay inside of it, which is this, and I put the feedback on max, which basically makes it run completely on itself. And now when I press play, I use it like an Atmo synth. And that's the use for it. With the kick, it sounds so good. and it's very uncertain. It makes this like very out of time, out of placement shapes, but it's actually always on time because of the Akai force, and it really adds this uncertainty and this real good control with the sound. So it makes the sets much more dynamic, especially when you're like always looping and always playing loops the whole time. It makes it much more engaging for the people. So I keep it mostly on low volume, just to be in the back, just so it can play around and give this effect of a lot of stuff happening in the background. So it keeps the set much more engaging. You can always use samples also, and you can always have it, but I just like to play it on the spot. I like to play stuff a lot like on hand, because it gives me like fun. It's really fun for me to do this live, and when I do that, like I just get much more engaged into playing. So this is my reason for having it live. And that's basically the two synthesizers. Playing them together, for example. And they both work together so well because it's both basically the same MIDI notes playing, going around in different synthesizers with atmospheres, and it gives this exact good workflow. And yeah, we go now to the final piece, which is the most important piece, the samples inside the Akai Force. The Akai Force has 8 simultaneous audio channels that you can put samples on as much as you want, because it has disk streaming, which is basically, it reads samples directly from the hard drive inside. I've put an SSD inside of it. You have this option to put an SSD inside of it. And I let run loops on it, so it can give all of the sounds, all of the samples that are not found. Let's say we go, for example, to these samples. These are samples that I've made on Ableton, that I've taken, processed, made around. You can see them play even, like here, for example, if I edit the clip, you can see it. And using these samples, I give the most harmonic elements inside the track. All of the main melodies, vocals, some special type of atmospheres. The main stuff is happening from the Akai Force, running in loops as samples, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on for each sound and for each placement for the track and the song that I want to play. And I go one by using the launch feature. Basically, let's say I'm here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and goes to the next line, and it continues on and on. And this is how I play. Let's say we go again. 3, 4. And you can see different samples that are running. This one, for example. Only this, which is Atmos that I've made. This, which is also risers that are playing, you know, and they're just going in and out, in and out. And I also have this sample, which is melody playing, and it just runs around and runs around. You can see it like this here. And it just runs around and runs around, and it just loops. I usually put them on 16 bars because I then know exactly when something comes in, when something comes out. Basically, I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. My head is always counting, and it's very important with live. You gotta be counting the whole time as a metronome inside your head without you feeling it. This comes with a lot of practice and a lot of playing around, but you know that the loop starts, and you know like this, you're counting on the 16th bar, you change something, you add it, you remove it, you do whatever you want so you can have it on. There's a mixer inside of it, which I can control everything. You can add effects, sends, whatever you want inside the Akai Force, which is very cool. So you can equalize the sound and make sure everything works well together. And yeah, basically me playing these samples here while having the analog rhythm connecting it with the kicks, while having the synthesizers play on time with it. All of this is connected to the audio card, and the audio card is sending everything to the different channels in good volume, in good equalization. Of course, if I need to add more volume, if I need to add more EQ, I use the knobs inside the mixer to add either lows, highs, mids, add more gain, remove more gain, so I can make sure I don't go over the limit and I'm not clipping and I'm having a very good mix, so everything works well together. For example, I'm going here. I add the kick. I add the hats. And I'm looking here. It's very important to see that it's not clipping, the headroom is right. And doing this while adding these and these and these, I add, like, for example, the Atmos inside the Roland. And you add the kick, you remove the kick. And using all of this together, one by one, I change the next layout, I change the next layout. Let's say, for example, here I have a break, which is on this one. If I stop and play, let's say I put everything down except the Akai Force, which are the samples. Let's go. I add the synths little by little. I add, remove, use the cutoff. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can see here, I remove and add the hats whenever I want. And basically, this is everything playing together, on time, on beat, and I start going one by one, one by one, one by one, until I finish the set. Usually, one set of mine includes elements from 12 to 15 tracks, which I digest, divide with each atmosphere, each vocal, each melody, having it in the samples, while each drum kit I choose, this is the first one, this is second, third, fourth, fifth, on and on and on and on and on. And I just go one by one. I start with the first samples from here, that's playing the MIDI notes that are going to here, and I choose here which drum kit, which means that which drum sounds, which kicks, hats, perks I want them to be played. And I go on and on. I add the elements, remove the elements. Then when I add the new elements of the new song, I add them here. Then I add the new kicks, I add the new hats. I play around with the synthesizers to get like the movement always going. This is the cool thing about the synthesizers, because they're always running, and that means that you have this glue, you have this thing that's running around, and it's on, and these loops that are there, they just come around together. And maybe the final thing I use are the effects. I like to use the Pioneer mixers because of their effects. For example, put on a reverb. Let's say, for example, we go back to the place that we were, here. I use the reverb. and just play around. You know, take some stuff out, put some stuff in, use some reverb, use some delay, echo if you want to, play around with the filters and the kicks and everything that's happening inside, and let yourself free, you know? You can control everything at the same time. It's not DJing, and that's the cool part about it. You don't have to, like, whatever the track plays, you play and you just like EQ it or add some effects. This you can do, and at the same time you just add, remove, put any element that you want at the same time, and you let the flow of the whole thing goes. The mentality is very different here. You have to think about how energetic and how much you want to control the crowd and you want to control the songs, because basically you can just let it run endlessly like this. And it sounds good together, you know, but it's just happening. Nothing else is happening, you know? So you add a filter, remove, you add again. And let it run like this. And always play around, always move, get in and out. You gotta be careful also to be on time. Sometimes you're gonna do mistakes, but they're sometimes happy mistakes, sometimes they're not happy mistakes. It really sounds bad. So you just take a risk, and like the more you practice, the more you get into this flow, the less bad mistakes you do, and if you do a mistake, it's gonna be a happy mistake and you know how to do it. Like you can always like forget something, forget a filter, forget to put something, and you just like let it run more and then put it on again. And the crowd actually likes that because you like it becomes very uncertain. And you know, a lot of live sets can be monotonous because of this. So if you really go creative, you can make really dynamic sets and you can have a lot of fun and make the crowd really happy because, you know, all the stuff is changing. So yeah, in a nutshell, this is my setup. Everyone has their own setup. You can use a computer. You can just use only a MIDI controller to control the whole thing in Ableton. Or you can use a modular, you know, with everything connected together using electricity, which is like crazy and super cool. My setup is this right now. I don't know if it's going to change for the future, but I like it this way right now. I have control for the stuff that I need, and I just let it have, and just like have fun. The most important thing is that I have fun. I'm playing. So when I'm on set, when I'm DJing, like playing live, not DJing, I can allow myself just to experiment, just to take myself out, and that's the cool thing about this. So yeah, guys, I want to do a demonstration right now. I'll be playing 3 tracks, one after the other, starting with the intro of the first one, and then let the mix continue on and on. I hope you really enjoyed everything. Enjoy now the playing that's going to happen, and hope that you have learned something that's super cool about live setups and more people to enjoy and to have fun with the live. Because a lot of DJs are getting booked, but not so many live artists are getting booked. And it would be really cool for the scene for more live setups to be on, because it means that more creativity and more, you know, real creative influences are happening when playing live. And yeah, thank you so much. and you go on and on. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Hope you had fun. Hope you enjoyed. And yeah, this is the masterclass. Play live, experiment, do different stuff. You know, everyone's trying sometimes the easy way, but the hard way sometimes is much more fun. See you.
So thank you so much everyone for watching. Hope that you learned something. Hope that you've enjoyed. If you have any choirs or anything, you can always contact me. I'm always willing to help young producers and young live acts or DJs get to the level that they want. Again, you can, if you want to give me a donation, you're more than welcome to do that in my Bandcamp link. Or if you're requiring any help with any kind of music support, whether it be DJing, producing, live act with Ableton or hardware, or mixing or mastering, I would be more than happy to get you to the next level and help you with your lessons. You can contact me either on my email, kassisofficial@gmail.com, or having a DM on my social media platforms. And yeah, it was so fun for me to have this masterclass on my birthday also, which was very nice. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to be doing more masterclasses in the future, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, hope to see you guys then next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.